Hey, this is Kathy here, and I'm here with a review of the Cascadia 14 trail running shoe. It's good, eh? Well, we'll see about that. No, I'm just kidding. I guess I should start off by saying I am a recreational trail runner. I just do it for fun. I like it. It's my preferred method of exercise, and I run about 50 kilometers a week, give or take. So that's my experience. And I've had these shoes for about 2 months, so I wanted to give a review, and here it is. So I'm going to go over my likes and dislikes, and also hit a few criteria such as price, comfort, performance, and durability. Alright, so let's get into it. So what did I like about these shoes? Well, let's start off with the tread. I really like these knobby treads, especially for rough trails. I was running in the Brooks Glycerins, and their treads are just kind of flat, and I felt I needed more traction for proper trail running on really rough trails. The Glycerins are awesome shoes. I highly recommend them for like smooth trail running or road running. They are the comfiest running shoes that I have had. Just an aside here. But I was looking for trail running shoes because I'm running on rough terrain almost exclusively now. I felt like I need more support in the tread traction area, as well as the ankle supports, but we'll get into that in a second. Now we'll just talk about the tread. The treads are awesome, nice and knobby. When you're out on a trail and you trip on a root, which I often do, the treads stick long enough so that I don't immediately fall, and I can catch myself before I fall. Having that extra split second before you trip and fall is pretty vital to stay up on your feet and you're out here on the trail, because it just gives you that extra time to catch your balance and just trip instead of face plant. So I really like the treads on these shoes. I trip quite a lot. You know, you're running along the trail and something catches your eye and you take your eyes off the trail. That's when you're going to trip, right? That's when that root comes up and you're like, ah. But these knobby treads really give you the extra time that you need to catch your balance before you face plant. I honestly, I've only fell. I only fell once wearing these shoes. That's because I tripped and then my shoe came up and it hit my other foot. It was already in midair and it hit the heel of my other foot and I fell. But you know, that was kind of a chain reaction type thing. Overall, when I trip on a route, I can catch my balance with these shoes, so that's important. So I really like the treads. I also like the laces. They lace up really easily. You don't have to pull them super tight to be snug. It's for your foot to feel snug in the shoe. And if you double knot the laces, they stay tight, or not they stay tight, they stay done up throughout your whole run. And I usually run around 10K a day, and I've run even a half marathon in these, and they have stayed done up, so that is awesome. It also even has a little pocket there for your laces. You can tuck them in after you tie them up. Honestly, I don't use this pocket. I just let the laces fall and they still stay tied up. Because there's nothing worse than having to stop in the middle of your run and tighten your lace. Like that's the worst. So then you have one shoe that's too tight, or one shoe that's tight, one shoe that's looser, and it's kind of annoying. So these stay done up, and it's quite nice. Now the stability, which I've already mentioned, my foot feels really stable in these shoes. It supports the heel really well, or the ankle really well rather, and I feel like I'm not going to twist an ankle running in these shoes, and that I can I trust them to keep my foot supported, and they do feel supported. My ankle isn't going all over the place, and my shoe, it's not sliding this way or that way, staying pretty firm and pretty straight, and I've never felt like I'm going to roll an ankle in these shoes, so that's definite bonus. And I run on pretty rough terrain. It's not, some places are smoother, but overall it's pretty traily, we'll call it. Those are what I like about the Brooks Cascadia. Now what I don't like was the break-in period for these. Like I said, I've had these for a couple of months, and when I first got them, I alternated wearing these one day for a run, and then I would use my old Glycerins one day and go back to these and alternate. I did that for a couple of weeks. But even doing that, my toes, like my big toe, never really got used to these shoes. they hurt the bottom of my big toes. It wasn't even the side or anything like that. It was the bottom of them, like the pad of my big toes really hurt in these shoes. It took a long time to get them to feel okay. Like even to this day, I still feel them in the shoe, and I wear these exclusively now. But they don't hurt, but they do, I can feel them. So that's kind of annoying. They're not super comfortable. So the break-in period was long, and you know, even broken in, they're not the most comfortable shoe I've ever had. They're no glycerins, let me say. These shoes, these glycerins, have lots of padding, and I think that's the difference. Maybe these ones, because the tread is so hard, it's just not a lot of padding in the toes, and that's maybe why my big toes hurt. And it's both feet, both big toes hurt. So, go figure. Another thing that I'm not a big fan of in these shoes is that they fill with dirt really easily. Like if you're running on sandy, dirty trails, be prepared to empty out your shoe mid-run. Like I've had to actually stop a run and empty out my shoe because sand just fills in here. And I've run the same trails with my glycerins, and they don't fill in nearly as easily with sand as these do. This week it's been a little bit more wet, so they've filled in. I would expect some sand to get in the shoe, of course, when you're running it on the trails, but it has been excessive. But lately it's it's rained and it's been a little bit wetter, so it hasn't. I don't have footage of like the huge amounts of sand I've had to dump out of my shoe, but I do have some footage of just some normal amount of sand, which is to be expected. But I just find when it gets really dry and really sandy, these fill in with dirt a lot, like an excessive amount of dirt. Now, probably the thing that I most dislike about these shoes is the wear and tear. Like, I've only had these for a couple of months, and they're ripping along the toe line. And even here on the inside part of the shoe where the lace is, they were wearing. And I even just noticed this coming up. So the durability is not there. The quality is not there. I expected more because I'll show you my glycerins. I've had these for over a year with pretty steady use. Look at nothing on the toes, no wear and tear. This is still perfectly tight to the toe. And nothing along the laces. The only thing is wear and tear is the tread, which that's fine. That's what happens. But I'm not very impressed with the Cascadia quality. I wanted shoes that lasted longer. You know, I don't like buying. I know you're supposed to buy shoes every like 3 months or whatever, but you know, I like to stretch mine as long as I can. As long as my foot's comfortable, I'm going to keep wearing them. But I'm going to have to get a new pair before, because these are just going to wear out before too long now. So those are my likes and dislikes about the shoes. So let's just go over the price, comfort, performance, and durability of these shoes. Just a little recap. Price. Well, honestly, that's what drew me to these shoes. They were not very expensive. They were $74 Canadian for these shoes. I believe they were on sale at Sport Chek. That's why I purchased them, compared to like the $200 glycerins. Like that makes a big difference. The price gap makes a big difference. So the price is right for these shoes, I must say. I wouldn't pay any more than that for these, that's for sure. You get them on sale if you want them. I wouldn't even pay full price for them just because of the quality. So comfort, again, the comfort's not there with these. My toes still hurt. They're not, you know, they're harder surface, which is, you know, they're trail running shoes. So yes, they're going to be harder treads, but they're just not very comfortable. My glycerins, I keep going back to those because that's one of the other shoes that I have to compare, but they are very comfortable and I could wear them forever. These, not so much, but they are comfy enough to wear on runs, but they're just not, they're not as comfortable as I would like, as I thought they would be, being a Brooks shoe. Now performance, I like the way these perform, honestly, despite all the things I don't like about it. The tread is great for traction. They keep my ankle stable. And they run, like they're really, I like running with them on the trail. I know it sounds weird that they're not that comfortable, but I would choose these over my glycerins for the trail, mostly for the fact that they support my ankle, and the tread, the traction. So durability, obviously I'm not too impressed with the durability. These have not held up given the wear and tear here and here and here. So, and only being a couple months old, like if these were a year old, sure, yeah, wear and tear, but these are only a couple months old. I'm gonna have to replace these probably by the end of the summer, so I'm not that impressed with the durability of these Cascadia 14s. So my conclusion of the Cascadia 14s is that although I like their performance, I would not buy them again. I don't really recommend them being purchased in the first place just because they don't hold up, and I think there are other better shoes out there. Maybe a different brand, or if you just up your price limit a little bit, which is what I'm going to be doing, and maybe looking for a different brand for my next pair of trail shoes. Maybe Brooks doesn't make the best ones. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. But I don't recommend these shoes. They just didn't hold up and they weren't comfortable enough for my liking. Will say though, the positive is that they fit my budget at the time that I needed a pair of shoes. So I am thankful that I could afford these at the time, because I did need a pair of shoes, or a pair of good trail running shoes, or which I thought they would be good trail running shoes, but they did fit my budget. So if you are budget conscious or you have a budget to fit in, you can give these a try, but just be prepared for less than stellar quality and comfort. So I hope you found this review useful. If you do, consider giving this channel a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, stay positive, work hard, and wash your hands.